Hello, my name is Heritier&Pacific. I am with. We are taking this video in order to come up with one topic which came from the novel which we have been studying. The novel it was called No Longer a Tease. We saw in that novel many themes. So today we are going to focus in one theme which was about discrimination from the parent of Obi. So we saw that the discrimination was one of the challenges which Obi was facing since he came from the England and familiarized with himself in Nigeria's life. So from this topic we saw that Obi's parents were against the relationship from Obi and Clara, and at the end nothing went well. So would you have any idea about this topic?
So yes, we chose this topic because discrimination, especially cultural discrimination, is something big in African families. And when you look at this novel, there are many discrimination, especially on the love of Obi and Clara, and also some of the cultural norms that they had to follow. But because of the discrimination of different tribes, they were not allowed, example, to marry and also to do some activities as a couple.
Thank you so much about your idea, and I think in Africa, as you said, discrimination is at a big level, and I think at my side that discrimination can be good for sometimes because it can pretend, it can just avoid you to meet some challenges in your future life. Do you think the same idea as I'm thinking here?
So, due to many examples we have seen in this novel, I strongly avoid or prevent discrimination. As we have seen in this novel, we have seen how it caused difficulties between Obi and Clara, and also discrimination is what led to abortion. This is the first and important thing that happened in this novel, because they were not allowed to live together, so they had to they had a baby. Clara was pregnant, but they refused to give birth to this baby. So this is an example of how discrimination can be a barrier in African societies.
So I really agree with you in one hand, because it may be a challenge from other people in Africa, but if you dig deeply, and from the example which we took from the novel, while the Obi's mother told him that if you want to marry this girl, you have to wait so that I can die, so you can marry Clara. And imagine yourself, your parent or your mom gives you an ultimatum like this. Can you accept? I think in Africa, as we have this kind of culture, we have about ancestral, they really have some spirit in us, and in case we react in different way, we can meet some punishment from them. I think discrimination can be good because it pretends people, just it avoid people to meet other challenges from our ancestral and other family issues. Don't you think that I can be right?
So about your point about preventing, maybe there are some norms and or what you are not around in African cultures, but these are cultures that we develop. These are habits that we develop by ourselves. So, but this culture, as we have seen in the No Longer at Peace, it is some beliefs that they believed in, but it had nothing to do with Clara. And Obi's situation, because they were Christians. So when you look at this novel, there were two different sides. There were Christianity and the region of their families. And this, maybe their families were basing on their religious beliefs. So, but as you know, Obi is someone who is old enough to take his own decision. If your family starts to intervene with your decision, so how are you going to live your own life? So this is the problem we see in this novel. And I believe discrimination or cultural discrimination is something which is bad for Obi and even for all of us Africans.
Okay, it can be bad, and I can accept in that case, but imagine yourself if you ignore the discrimination, or you ignore other tribes. Just you say you are free to take to marry anyone from another tribe. Who do you think will take care of you in case you are in danger? Because in Africa we depend to our families depend to us, and in case there is a danger, the first people to run on is our parents. So imagine that they tell you that in case you marry this one, I will never come at yours. You will don't consider me as your parent. Just you will be alone, and no one will take care of you. No one will greet you in the road, and you will be like you have a bad reputation in your culture. Don't and from this you don't even just you don't harm only your parent, but you harm all your culture, you harm all your quota or your village. So it can be somehow difficult in case just you have this appointment, you have this point of views from every people, because they may think that it is not ethical to marry someone who is from another culture. Don't you think that at the time you have to accept this, because it's like that, it's our culture, and we have to accept it.
Or on one way, so when you look at this novel, it was written in 1960. This was the time maybe where Africans were living in tribes, and they lived in society communities. So, but if you look at this generation, we have a diverse community where you meet people from other countries, and you meet, or you choose to live where you want. So in this case, that point cannot work, because we have securities. What is the role of the police if it is not to protect you? So by then it was something which can be used, but today it is, when you look at the family, maybe you still need your family support. You also need, but if you have to be independent, if you have to work on this, I think it is better if you work to be independent, gain your own money, or to be part of your family, to be dependent and independent from your family. So by then in the novel, it is something which was difficult for Obi, because as we see, Obi always rely on his family's assistance. But today, I think the society, that point cannot work into this culture.
Okay, I thank you for this point of view, because if you focus in the period where they wrote this novel, it was just in 1960. But today, don't think those things which happened in the past are not being happened in this period, because it is true, but it can depend also to the countries. Take for example, I'm a Congolese, and we know that in Congo we have more than 400 and something tribes.
Yes.
So there we know the challenge. And while we were studying this novel, I was thinking it was totally the same, because even in me, I am a testimony from a given experience. You can understand that you are this one, and in case they call you in this name, they judge you immediately. They say, you are from that part. Just they call you in this name, they say, you are from this part. So you understand that the things happened in the past, but until now they're still being happened. But we accept it as it is, because they say no longer it is, because until now people are still practicing this kind of discrimination. I gave you an example in DRC. Just you can accept it and have this mind of saying that we have to live independent. We ignore those kind of discrimination from our grandparents. But until now, there are some spirit, there are some forces which are coming from outside, and you don't need, just even if you can be strong in each way, but you cannot resist those forces. But I think if Africa we stay like this, it can be somehow good.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Heritier. This was a very good debate and discussion. As we can see, discrimination in Africa is something, or cultural discrimination is something which Africans rely on because of the way we live in society and communities, and we also need our families. But if it has to be changed somehow to meet how the world is changing, to adapt with other people's culture and also live harmony with other people whom we don't share the culture, the religion, and everything. Thank you very much for this time. Thank you very much.
I really thank you, and we think that from people who will watch this video, they will come up with another idea in order to get a good and best solution from this kind of discrimination in Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.